Shubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Ka Meghalaya State Commission for Women, Lingba ka Jingkershan ka National Commission for Women, New Delhi, kalapanlong ya ka Capacity Building Program of One Stop Center na kabentaban ay jingpin sautho bat ya kren ya kinong tray katnat banla bakumnu kinla bante lakam ya ki kam sha thombor. Ka Chairperson ka Meghalaya State Commission for Women, kakong Iamonlang Sim kalaong bakamlong kababyang ban chupendon kam ya kaju shikaju hinrei kalong ban Donkam ban le ya ki ki bathamai na kapor shikapor bar habadon kinu kijing ni kijing khanglan karon kam ban rat ding khong ya kita kalaong ru bakum kinong tre na kabenta ka imlang sa alang Donkam ban so tho Ïalade ka jinglong haki ka ban penlong yaki ki batrei bha kum ki nong ai jing shakri kalaong ba ka jing shisha kalong ba phin omla ban ai sha Kiwei Lymda Phim don halade kalaong ba kidei ban so tho Ïalade ka ka ba kinjit na ka benta ka jing bha Ïalade bat ba Donkam ban hikai Ïalade ban so tho Ïalade khnang ba kinla ban ai ka jing shakri bat ai jing hikai ya Kiwei.
So the thing is, the important thing is that when you sit here, it's like school day out, where we can just kind of relax and think and share and meet each other. That's as important as a program that we're going to have, right? We've been wanting from the Women's Commission. We've been wanting this kind of program for a long time, but as you all also are aware, that sometimes we don't have the funds. So we were waiting for funds, and we're so happy when NCW came up, with this, for us to have this proposal to have two programs, one in Garo Hills and one over here. So we're so happy. But I do hope that in future also we'll have our own program, relating to various other issues, if not the same one. I'm sure most of you, any center managers over here? No, only councillors, right? Anyone? Center manager from anywhere? No. Okay, so this morning, we're all speaking to superheroes, the men and women out there in the field. Every day, you are like in a battlefield. So it's my privilege and honor to be here with all of you. And I want to also acknowledge the team from MSCW, from Annie who's worked so hard, from Joyce there, the members. We're so happy that three of them are there. Some of you have not met them, so do you mind if I ask from Dr. Rita? If you have too much time, but I just thought I'll, not make it too formal by asking us to reflect on a few things. Okay? The whole purpose, let me just at least get this across first, as NCW would like us to kind of share with you the objective of this kind of program. It's mostly to develop a cadre of well-trained personnel equipped to effectively handle cases of gender-based violence, while also building the capacity to train grassroots functionaries and ensuring their own mental well-being. That's it. From NCW, that is the main objective and the purpose for the funding. Just the other day, I was trying to get a plant, those China rose or something like that, not that I know how to plant or do gardening. And I asked somebody to help me, and they said, the soil is actually, we keep on recycling the soil. You know better than I do, I'm sure. So we recycle, and then they said that even if you have that old soil, you need to put a new soil. Is that right? I'm not very sure. Don't quote me on that one. But then they said that you can put a new soil and nutrients so that that soil will become renewed and replenish again. So there's some things that we learn from nature, that it is not enough for us to keep on recycling the same old thing. Otherwise, we might lose our productivity. So it's important to kind of reuse, recycle ourselves, our resources, our potential, and so on, at the same time to get new earth. So the whole purpose of this exercise is also to kind of stir up to do something with our lives, capacities. And that is an analogy. And another thing that, again, analogy from the earth, is this. That if there are stones, if there are anything that are barriers, our biases, our prejudices, or whatever, we need to uproot them. And the earth will feel like, ouch, ouch. Because every time we put something, we displace something which we become comfortable. Where we come from. I guess all of us, we come from different backgrounds, different experiences and so on. And these sometimes we don't realize that they become like stones if we're not careful, if we don't re-examine them. So they get in the way of the soil to be productive. And they become thorns. They become our own thorns than other people. You know, so it's important. I mean, I reflect. I'm speaking, just sharing, okay? Mostly from my experience. So there's always a time to reflect, a time to kind of look inwards and see, like, what are the stones and biases in my own life which prevents me from being the best that I can be as a service provider, or as a social worker, or as somebody working in the field where people are hurting. So that is something that we need to examine. And I feel that this is a good time as any to reflect on that. Because it hinders our capacity to be the best. Not perfect, but excellent. To be the best that we can. So this is something that I always look. And to uproot something, to change something. I mean, it means change. When you uproot, when you stir the soil, when you take up the thorns and the stones, it always pains the earth. It always pains us. We feel it because we become comfortable. We are comfortable in the way that this is the way we do things. We are comfortable with our methodologies. And then so we kind of resent other people saying also, I mean, we don't actively show our resentment, but sometimes we say, look, I've done this better. Say that there's certain things, as I said, which we need to examine. But most of the time, we don't have time to reflect, right? We don't have time for anything we feel. But the important thing is this, that when we are set in our ways, some of us have worked for many years and some of us are just new. Even then, we have our own construction of how things can be done. Okay, let me ask you a question. Please help me. 2 plus 2 is equal to? 2 plus 2 is equal to? 4. 3 plus 1 is equal to? It's 5, somebody said. 3 plus 1 is equal to? 5 minus 1 is equal to? You get the same answers, right? It's a methodology. It's a way that you approach. When you come to the same objective, you come to the same thing, the way that you handle things. See, it doesn't change. It's a way of mind, the way that we wire our mind, right? But we're so used to say 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. It's like singing those ba ba black sheep, Sometimes we get lost in these. So times like this, when we have programs like this, it's a refreshing kind of thing where we should get excited. Like, what new things are there? Is there a new way of approaching it? Who's going to say something new? A person who soaks up this, it's like a person who soaks up water. That dry soil, we should be thirsting for knowledge, for more understanding, for insight, for ourselves first. For ourselves, soak into the earth. I'm always reminded of this, which a lot of people think that, you shouldn't be speaking. But we have to remember that we are body, mind, and spirit, right? We're body, mind, and spirit. And many times, some of us, we take care of our bodies more than others, like food and taking care in many ways, right? Our health and so on, which is good. Because if we don't have good bodies and healthy bodies, then we can't serve. We get sick often. So when your body signals something, then the earth is saying something. You can't be totally fully productive. So sometimes, the other day I cricked my back again. So I said, today I'm going to get what do they call them? Those belt. or whatever, right? One has to be, in order to serve, you cannot give anything unless you have. That is also a reality. If I have only this glass of water, if I have there, I can only give that much. If I have a syntax, I can give more. We'll be talking about burnout and so on and so forth. So taking care of our bodies, we should never feel guilty. That is one thing. Otherwise, we can't serve. Most of our holidays, we take leave because we're sick or something like that, which is actually counterproductive. So it's important. And the management or whoever that is there should be sympathetic. That's one thing. And then the mindset in what we learn. Because sometimes, we just scroll through things and it's time consuming. At our age, I think we should be more selective. Like if it's related to your work, it's related to your personal life, it's related to a relationship, because we've been flooded and we've all become ADHD. We can't even concentrate. Even adults also becoming like that. We just like that. And then it just goes like that. So this is time to reflect also for us, how as counselors and as people who work with people, who tell other people not to do certain things or do certain things, we should also ask ourselves, and I'm asking myself also, right? Like how addicted we are and how our choices, are they good for me, first of all? Because as I said again, I repeat, we cannot give unless we have. It's impossible. So that's why, that is what capacity is about. That is how we deepen ourselves. That is how we stir up the soil. That's how we pull out those things. That's why we reflect. It's the ability to change, to adapt, to learn, to grow, to be humble enough. If we're not teachable, we can't teach others. Again, as I said, some of us are so set in our ways. 2 + 2 = 4, and that's the way we go. We can't think of another way of doing things. This is about critical thinking. This is about responding to life and being relevant. Not like what our forefathers have done. If they've done it right, great. But the ability to discard something which doesn't help us in our everyday. To be risk takers, to experiment in the way we approach the problems that come to us. That is important. To be mindful, to listen, to watch, to be excited that there's so many possibilities that we as humans respond. So that we should be like that sponge to keep on learning till the day we die. Are part of it. Then only, as I said, we don't build up our own capacity to be that perfect version of ourselves, the capacity to learn, and this is an ongoing thing, even after you retire. And the wealth, the wisdom that you get from here will work in other areas of your life. Because you play many roles. Your daughters, your wives, your mothers, and so on, right? So these different roles that you play, apart from being the counselor or the social worker or the case worker or the legal worker, wherever, you're also a part of that. And these roles, you cannot deprive each other. You cannot. You have to replenish each part of it so that you not play that role, but be that role in that sense, And the only way you can do that without feeling the conflict, without feeling the pain, is to be totally who you are. And again, it's about capacity again. The capacity to live in your different other roles, right? For example, time, which I'm very bad, so you should know where your weakness is. I'm terrible, but then I think I can forgive myself. I'm a senior citizen, not that way. But even then, I know how you as professionals to look after I think one of our members said her son is not well. So you have to juggle with that also. No, somebody needs you, is trying to kill herself, or her husband wants to kill herself or something like that, or desperate or suicidal or whatever, and then you have a child who's sick. So how do you juggle that? You know, as professionals, you have your personal and you have your professional space. If we don't draw those boundaries, like as long as they're not going to die, you know, priorities are if they're going to die, or they're going to kill each other, or they're going to commit suicide. But if that, they can still talk about the issues tomorrow, don't feel guilty when you say no. Don't feel guilty and say, like when you say that, okay, we'll talk later. I know you understand that, right? So as professionals, one should also learn how to draw these lines, okay? Then otherwise, we get depleted in one area. So that's, our capacity is diminished. You know, so one has to think about these things. Anyway, we won't have time to have to do anything. One more thing. Yesterday we were talking to the interns and I asked them what do they want, what do them, but then some people are a little bit more quieter than others. So I told this girl, I said, you start talking first to little children, you know, who are non-judgmental, you know, and talk to elders. So the skill to communicate is on and on, because some people, they work their heart, they give their heart as mothers, as professionals and so on. But they're like, they don't have words to articulate, to communicate. Sometimes, because words are power, you know, in the tongue is the power of life and death. Sometimes we hurt people with our words. The only time I felt a little bit bad the other day, I hope I've never done this before, that there was this man who's always